sector has warned people not to squander the gains made against coronavirus on the eve of the easing of restrictions in England. From tomorrow, a stay-at-home rule ends and people can mix in groups of 6 outdoors and some sports can restart. And a few reports.
The stay-at-home message in England is ending, and tomorrow seems like these will be allowed again. But while the easing of lockdown restrictions is continuing, so does the safety warning. The head of the NHS, Stephen Powers, says we must not squander the gains made on coronavirus by not sticking to the rules. Supported by the government.
We are making good progress with the rollout of vaccines, which means we can take these steps with easing, but it is essential that people abide by the rules. So people can be outside, but not inside. They can engage in sports. Fantastic for our nation's physical and mental health.
So what is changing? Well, from tomorrow onwards, people will be allowed to meet outside, including in private gardens, in groups of up to 6 or in 2 households, but they have to stay local. Weddings with up to 6 people can take place again, and local sports facilities can be open. And preparations are already well underway. Pitches around the country being set up for formally organised outdoor sports, also resuming on Monday too. But plans for further restrictions being relaxed in the future could be paused if infection rates begin to rise. So far, more than 29 million people in the UK have received the first dose of the COVID vaccine, and the government says it's still on track to vaccinate all 9 priority groups by mid-April. But soon there will be fewer first appointments available, with a shortage of supply next month. So people are being warned to keep within the guidelines to keep England progressing out of lockdown. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
Well, this afternoon the government is expected to confirm that more than 30 million people have had a first vaccination. Our physical reporter Hannah Miller is here. So Hannah, the rollout is going well, but still challenges ahead.
Yeah, challenges, but also some good news today. We had a cabinet minister say that another brand of vaccine, the Moderna jab, they hope will be going into arms in April. That coming through is very much a positive at a time when we know that there are delays to the supply of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and the government is in that ongoing argument with the EU about exporting vaccines as well. They're also coming under pressure from health and development charities today to start sharing vaccines with poorer countries. Charities saying that they must start doing that immediately. The government insists that there simply isn't a surplus of vaccine to start sharing out. They always expected these ups and downs. They say that people will still be getting their second doses as expected. The target to vaccinate all adults by the end of July still stands, and the wider roadmap as well remains on target.
Okay, Hannah, thank you. Now, there's been some progress made to dislodge a giant container ship stuck in Egypt's Suez Canal. The Ever Given has been dredged across one of the world's busiest trade routes since Tuesday. Around 20,000 tons of sand has now been dredged, and officials say that hopeful the ship could be afloat again by this evening. A small number of delivery workers are to go on strike next month over pay and health and safety concerns. The announcement follows last week's revelations that riders can earn as little as £2 per hour. And there have been calls for a by-election in Scotland after a second SNP politician defected to Alex Salmond's new Alba party. Neil Hanby is the latest to join, having previously been suspended by the SNP for using anti-Semitic language on social media. He's since apologised for any offence caused. There's been an international outcry after more than 100 unarmed civilians, including children, were killed in Myanmar yesterday. The shootings by the country's security forces came as people once again took to the streets to protest against the military takeover. It's the worst violence Myanmar's seen since the start of the coup in February. Paul Davis reports.
Despite all attempts at bloody suppression, the anti-coup protesters were back on the streets this morning. This act of defiance particularly brave, as the streets of Yangon, where they're marching, the scene of slaughter yesterday. Ignoring the growing clamour of protests from around the world, the Myanmar military again turned its guns on its own people. Facing live rounds, the demonstrators only had stones to reply. One launched a firework. It was a futile gesture on a dark day for democracy. There is only ever going to be one winner, when civilians armed only with gestures come up against troops prepared to use lethal force. With similar unarmed protest put down with similar ruthlessness in major cities like Mandalay, the death toll ran into 3 figures. Countries like Britain and America condemned it, but if anything, the military stepped up its oppression. These pictures show villagers sheltering from airstrikes near Myanmar's border with Thailand. The reason for the airstrike isn't clear. It's not only on the streets brave people are taking risks to speak out against the military. Hanley, Miss Myanmar, used a beauty pageant to do the same.
Today, in my country, Myanmar, why are tourists be on the stage? There are so many people died. More than 100 people died today.
Today, they march again against military oppression, while the world watches and the generals appear oblivious to international condemnation. Paul Davis, ITV News.
Finally, to cricket, where the third and the deciding one-day international between England and India is underway. India were put into bat and a short time ago passed 300. They've since added another 21 runs with 4 overs left in their innings. That's it. Lucrezia Millerini will have an update at 3:45. Until then, bye-bye.